is the reading for Libras for the winter. We're in Canada here. Consists of December 21st to March 19th. That's the area we're dealing with. That's our winter. So it may not be winter everywhere around the globe here, but those are the months we're dealing with here at this point. So I'm going to get right into the Libra. The first card here is Trust in Magic. I feel like these Libras do not have a lot of trust in that area. I don't think they've opened up to the magical realms in that way. I don't think they're feeling a lot of positivity. Not only positivity, but just kind of letting things dance over your spirit. It's just not there for these Libras. I feel almost like a depression, but a sadness more. Not as deep as depression, but a sadness where they're just really kind of ho-humming through their life here. And so basically I think Spirit's trying to say, you know, and just open up to that and let that be a possibility. We don't have to indulge in it, but let it be a possibility in your mind, and then we can slowly make our way up from there. Trust that there is magic in the world, and then eventually you will find it. And I'm feeling like these Libras are kind of in a sad state. They're not really able to accept that at this point. Now, the crossing card is Be Without Malice. So I feel like through this sadness, there's something, maybe I guess an incident that came across your path that has led you into this sadness, and also has led you into a point where you may be lashing out to other people. So that is going to be a challenge for you to hold that back, to retain that and say, you know what, no, I'm not going to go outward with this. Feeling a sense of not really pinpointing an area specifically, but it's lighter, like it's not a heavy, deep sadness, but it's there nonetheless, and it is not really like you're skipping through the streets here. You're trying to get out of a mode. You know you're in the mode, but you kind of have to work your way through it. And I feel like that's the immediate. I feel around Christmas and after, you're just going to lighten up for you here, but really what you're dealing with is kind of some residue from something that happened here that has caused you some upset. So your challenge in the immediate moment here in December is to try and not go outward with it, to kind of retain it, and you could speak from it, but not, you know, speaking out toward others in a negative way. What's in your mind is staying strong. So that ability, I feel like you feel weak. You're feeling a sense of weakness, feeling it, and so you know, I think in your mind that you have to stay strong, but just not feeling it, not having it. So I think the universal mind is kind of like, you know, just hold it out here. Just kind of a process you have to go through is what I'm getting. These Libras have to kind of get over this hump. And I'm feeling January, February will start to incline with the mood. Just not feeling part of anything good. That's really the sense here. It's almost like a loneliness, but not because there's no people around, just not feeling connected to anything, not feeling, you know, into anything, and just feeling bored and boring and not wanting to, you know, connect and that kind of thing. And you just have to work that out. The energy that's passing away from you is follow the moon. It's interesting because the lady is looking down at the waves, and those are, you know, indicative of emotions, and they're really rolling. So it's a lot of emotion, and it may even be that there's a lot of emotional turmoil under the surface here with these Libras that they're just not letting anyone else in on. So there's a lot of emotional turmoil, and that may be the reason that the sadness is there. It's just they're not going outward with it. They're not connecting with other people to help them alleviate some of that. So a lot of emotional stuff going on undercover in the moon, and though this is in your passing, I'm feeling this is what you're dealing with in this December time, but know that it will pass, and it does feel like it does pass, but it's just not a pleasant thing at the time. What you're moving into is in your near future. We have challenge your perception. So I feel like there's right, You have the emotional, you have the upsets, you have the kind of the low sinking feeling that you're really sunk into, and then in the future it's like challenge your perception. So it's like really you kind of have to get some kind of new perspective to get out of that. So I feel like that is the switch that you do eventually make. I mean, we can't stay in a mode forever. We just don't. It's meant to come and go. And so there's some kind of introspection that brings you forward here. And challenging your perceptions at that time in the negative cycle will bring you to what we're going through here, which is in your distant future, nourishing your soul. So it seems like you're going to get through this situation and you're going to realize, yeah, I got to take some time to myself, make myself happy, be a little selfish, and not feel not feel bad about it. And I don't think that you will. I think you'll just realize in a natural way, yeah, this is what I need to do. This will make me happy. And it does. And it will. And it will, you know, enrich you in that way. I still feel you hanging on to the dark side of things, but your mood will be alleviated and you will come out of that rut that you've been in. As we go along here, there's be patient. So almost like you're waiting on something. I don't feel it's directly related to your mood increase or decrease, but I feel like there's something you're just waiting on, and I'm not getting a clue as to what really specifically that is. And I mean, this is for all Virgos, so it may be a wide array of things. Life, work, relationships, whatever. But nourishing the soul in your near future is really going to kind of alleviate some of that sadness, some of that depletion that's been going on. It's just a slow drain. And you're going to plug it up and start building from that. Being patient is really, I don't know where that's coming in. I'm kind of being blocked from that answer. But we'll move on here. See yourself in nature. Getting out. I'm seeing this more as a socializing type of thing. I feel like some of these Libras may not be, maybe isolating, have been isolating over the December. I think that's part of the feeling for them. I think they're social animals. They need to get out and communicate, and they haven't been doing that, and they're realizing that part of nourishing their soul has to do with going out. And I feel like, you know, maybe not in nature, or maybe in nature, maybe go skiing, whatever, if that comes for December for you to get out in nature and do that, it will alleviate some of that. The next card is focus and then act. I feel like being out in nature, being out with people, period, will help you get some of your focus for whatever it is you want to attack. I feel like there's maybe a lack of focus overall. Just any area you think of, you're just kind of scattered. So that's maybe what it is. Not being able to pinpoint the patience as to where it goes is because you're kind of scattered as well. You just don't know what you want to do and how you want to do anything, or if anything's, you know, you're just not thinking about things that are going to make you happy in that way or whatever. I mean, your outcome card is embrace the dark. So I feel like you maybe need to pay homage to this sadness that you had in the beginning, or well, it's going to be coming upon here. Because it's almost like it has made you see something about yourself, about your personality, about your inclination and how you deal with others, or even dealing with your own self within yourself. I don't see a lot of huge introspection. I see you going in because of something that happened. I think you need to have patience with that situation that made you sad. I think you have to understand that as time passes, things become clear. And I think that is really a lot of what the mix-up is. It's just so in your face that you just need to let time pass and open, let the gates kind of open up to you and see that you can get that focus to really look upon the things that matter instead of just being shaken by everything. I feel a sense with these Libras that there is a situation that is just kind of flustering them. And it really throws them off of everything. And that's the whole situation, is just kind of get away and relax. I feel like it has really flooded everything's relationship. It's something that happens in one of those fields that really taints every area of their life. And until they master it in their mind as to how they're going to deal with it, or not deal with it. If they don't deal with it, then it has a tendency to linger. So it's kind of saying you're going to learn from this sadness, and through that you kind of have to be thankful for it. Now I'm going to give a clarification card here because it's kind of negative. Not a negative, I don't want to say negative, but it's kind of a dark reading, like a sadness and an aloneness. That even though, like I said, there could be people around, you're just not engaged. So we'll see what kind of animal clarification. We get the shark. Trust your instincts to discern the truth of the situation. So a lot of it is going to have to, your answers are going to have to come within your own self, your instincts. I think that's unavoidable here. I think this is all instinct. I think the reason that you are sad is because you know instinctively something has come about, and there is really nothing that you can do about it. This is a process that has to come through. If I remember the last reading, it was about a change coming through for these Librans, and I think that I don't think you can really escape this. I don't think you can escape it, and nor can you. But it's just a matter of rationalizing it to a degree, where you learn what you'll need to learn from it, and then you carry through. I do get a heavy sense of sadness, though. It's almost like a passing, or someone's coming to the end of their rope here with things, or a situation, or it could be a relationship ending. It could be maybe you have someone in the family who's getting older, and you know that they're about to pass, and you're feeling that you can't escape that. It's that kind of a heaviness, grief in a sense. And not knowing what to do about it. And in those situations, man, you just live through it. You just live through it, and you just go through it. I'm gonna pull a card here on top of the Embrace the Dark to see what's coming. I'm gonna cut and shuffle to see what, maybe clarify what's going to come up in the future here, because I don't like leaving it on such a heavy note. But yeah, there's some heaviness here that needs to alleviate, but it's almost like in the process of it going through you, these are things that are just kind of life process that you need to work from. Being vigilant, washing away burdens, and observant silence. So a lot of what you've been really going through, I don't see any kind of bubbling up here. I feel like there might be, through the washing away of burdens card, there might be a lot that you can say, that you can communicate to other people. That I get I get the perception here. I get the situation here that you really you are going inward. You are observing in silence, and you maybe need to break a little bit of that in order to maybe lay off on some other people, help them. Let them help you alleviate some of it. I feel like, man, yeah, it's like a grief. It's like a grief. And you have to really work through it, but you cannot do it on your own. So I think it would be best to gather amongst people and try and at least find a way to discuss it. Being vigilant, I think, is just really a symbol here to watch the darkness. Be aware that you can really go to, right down to the core of this darkness, and you don't want to be doing that. You want to watch yourself, know that you got to go through this, and try and get other people to help you wash away your burdens. I feel like just unloading it, just vocalizing things to other people will help you in that way. So Librans, kind of a tough case here, just a sadness overall, but that's contrast, right? And not everybody can go through everything great all the time. So we need that contrast to kind of see, but I feel like this is a long-term, chronic thing. So though it may have bubbles of alleviation, I think the more that you converse about it, the more you communicate to others about it, the easier it will be for you. The more you keep it inside is really a watch for that. Don't keep it all inside, because it really has the ability to just anchor you right to the bottom of the ocean, and you don't want to stay there with your emotions. I mean, they're really in upheaval, and you're really not speaking from it, so you need to do that. That's really part of the solution here. Even though I don't see a solution per se, it's part of the healing process, let's put it that way, that you need to work through, is to really grab a hold of those things, that turmoil that's going inside you, and try and put it into words and get it out there, because that will alleviate some of the, if not mental, physical symptoms. So hopefully that helps. Libras, take it easy over the winter. It's going to be a little low key. So in the meantime, take care. That is the winter reading, December to March of 2016-2017 for Libras. Good.